I don't know about where you live, but here, March seemed to be a pretty special month. So, was it a record breaker? Hello YouTube, and welcome to the monthly stats video for March. So without further ado, let's dive into the data. The total amount we generated for March this year was 811.8 kilowatt hours. Is that a record? Well, if we look back at last year, we generated 584 kilowatt hours. Now admittedly last year I didn't have the shed solar panels contributing, but even if I subtract what the sheds provided from the total, we still get 749 kilowatt hours this year, which still beats last year. But if we look at 2020, we can see that actually we generated 761 kilowatt hours, which is just about 10 kilowatt hours more than this year. So unfortunately this year is not a record breaker, but it's pretty close. So our best day was the 19th of March, and on that day we generated 49 kilowatt hours, so almost 50. And you can see that was one of them beautiful blue sky days that we had about a week of towards the end of March, that really made for such great production. And yeah, not a cloud in the sky. It's a perfect curve. Everything was contributing. Just fantastic to get all of that. We want more of those, please. Our worst day was on the 1st of March, and we generated just 3 kilowatt hours on that day. So massive difference between the best day and the worst day. 3 kilowatt hours versus nearly 50 kilowatt hours. What a difference a cloudless sky makes. We imported a total of 350 kilowatt hours from the grid. Now I've been doing some experiments with electric rads as part of my get off fossil fuels goal for this year. I'll leave a link to the videos at the end if you're interested in that. But yeah, so I've been using an electric rad to collect data to see how well it can heat a space, etc. So there'll be more coming on that in later videos, but that explains why the usage is a bit higher than it would otherwise be. So you can see from the usual pie chart that 58% of the power that we generated came from my Solax inverter. That has what is that? Just over 5 kilowatts of panels connected to it, and it's a 5 kilowatt inverter. They're on my south facing roof, and then we've got 13% comes from my Grow Watt 1 kilowatt inverter. Those panels are mounted next to the Solax panels on the roof. They're the same panels. There's 4 of those, so there's about 1200 watts of panels connected to this 1 kilowatt inverter. And then we've got 21% or so coming from the wall mounted panels. There's about 2.5 kilowatts worth of panels on the wall connected to a 2 kilowatt inverter. And then finally 7.7% came from the shed panels, which is just 1 kilowatt. Actually it's slightly under 1 kilowatt of panels I think on the roof of the shed. So yeah, 62 kilowatt hours I got from the shed. Excuse the noise, that's the shed inverter charging up the batteries behind me from the sun we're getting today. Of all the power that we managed to generate in March, we managed to keep 85% of it, which means we exported 15% of it. That's a lot higher than normal. Usually I try and get to about 5%, but as I'm sure many of you watching this who've got solar in the UK also experienced, we had like a week of pure sunny days, one after the other, and eventually, no matter how hard I try, everything was full. The batteries are full, the cars are full, the hot water's hot, everything is full. There's literally nowhere left to put it, and you have to export it. So that's the reason why the exported figure is so high this month, because just ran out of places to put it. I need more batteries, or a car with a much bigger battery in it. And obviously, if you've watched my previous videos, you see that we have got one of those coming, but it's been delayed. It was supposed to be delivered about now, but we're not going to get it until September now, so that will just have to wait. So let's look at the usual pie chart that compares our self-usage to our grid usage. And you can see that 66% of all the power that we used in the house was generated ourselves, which meant the other third came from the grid. And again, like I say, I was doing some experiments with electric rad, so I think that would account for the higher usage from the grid for this month. And lastly, let's look at the pie chart that shows where all our power went. So we can see that 14% went into the PHEV, 23% went into the Leaf, and the immersion is taking up 22%. Now, this is how I'm heating my hot water now, using electricity. I'm not using gas. If you were to look at this figure for last year, you'd see that it was significantly smaller. But yeah, so this is going to be a big chunk of any monthly usage from now on. What else have we got? Usual kettle stuff. Yeah, gaming is still not too big. My son is coming back from university in a week, so I expect that to go up shortly. And then anything else, yeah, again, this my electric rads experiments will be falling into this category, so there is some usage there that would normally not be present. It's just that I'm doing these experiments. So okay, so now let's look at our usage for each day of the month, broken down into half-hourly blocks. You can see that again, nearly all of our usage is at between 12:30 in the morning and 4:30 in the morning, which is the Octopus Go cheap rate. And our longest streak of off-gridness was about 9 days. 9 days is pretty incredible for March. So that, you know, as an off-grid streak, that is incredible. I would really love to be able to say we could do it every day, but it's just not feasible this time of year. But that is incredible. Nine days off-grid. Fantastic. And that includes heating hot water, charging the cars, everything. Yeah, even the experiments I was doing with the electric rads. So yes, impressive. A total of 11 days where we pulled nothing from the grid at all, but yeah, 9 consecutive days. Okay, well, that's it for the stats for this month. I assume for all of you guys it was probably a pretty amazing month too. Let me know in the comments if it broke your record for the sunniest March that you've ever known. It wasn't quite there for us. It was yeah, just 10 kilowatt hours off, but right up there. It was so sunny, in fact, that when I had to submit my fit reading for this first quarter at the end of March, the my energy supplier that I get my fit payments from actually queried my my generation meter reading and asked me to send them a photograph of the actual generation meter, because they thought my reading was too high, and I can only assume that's because we had such a bumper March, and I think we also had quite a few sunny days in one of the other, was it January or February? Can't remember now. But yeah, so this first quarter has obviously been a bumper quarter, higher than normal. That they would query that my generation value was too high. So yeah, that was the first time that's ever happened to me, but I sent them a photograph of the generation meter, so everything should be cool, but we'll see. But yes, so that's it. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Stick around for some more videos coming up soon about my progress towards getting off of fossil fuels, and I will see you all in the next video. Cheers.